If you like the idea of making your eye colour look brighter, I think you'll really like this makeup look I'm going to show you today. It's a full length video, no edits, and basically I've used browns instead of black. Things like the new Lisa Eldridge mascara, the new L'Oreal eye crayons. It's all a few bits and pieces that were new and I wanted to try. KOSAS SPF. So I hope you enjoy. So to begin, the only thing I do have on already is my IT Cosmetics Confidence in an Eye Cream. I put this on this morning. I never really am usually that much of an eye cream person. I just tend to take my moisturiser everywhere if it's safe to do so, like right around the eye area. But that cream is so buttery and I get really dry, particularly like in here and around there. And I looked really tired this morning, so I just put a bit of that on and it feels that bit more comfortable and it definitely looks nicer. And then what I'm going to use on my skin today, I'm so excited to try. KOSAS have brought out a Dreambeam. It's called Comfy Smooth Sunscreen SPF 30. It's water resistant. And in general, I think that KOSAS do this really soft, buttery skin really well. So I'm really excited to try the SPF. I probably won't use, I'm going to try this much for now. I probably won't use like a full amount that I would use if I'm going out, because I'm not going out today. But I just want to give it an initial feel and see how it wears under my CC cream. And one thing I will say is, you see the colour of that is like, kind of has this tint to it, but it's not actually going to give necessarily a tint to your face once you've rubbed it in properly. This can be really handy for slightly warmer skin tones. Even when someone says they have a completely invisible SPF and with the best of intentions they may think they do, having a slight tint to the formula can just mean that it gives you even more reassurance that you're not going to be left with any sort of white cast. So definitely, I have just used the one that I've got two colours in this. This one, it would be so helpful if I had the name. Oh, here we go. There's Dreambeam and then Dreambeam Sunlit, which is slightly deeper. Let me just show you this one as well. You have these options then of something with a slight tint to it that, like, again, I think by the time you've rubbed that in, it would be virtually undetectable, but there is just a bit of a flush there that means you're not going to be left with any like really telltale signs. So really lovely to have the option of both of those. Already I feel like that does look really buttery. Oh, and another thing I was going to show you that you might notice when I'm doing my makeup today, I'm wearing one of these patches. This is the Supp Co, and it was created by Kelly Gilbert, who is one of the first people I ever interned for. On my first internship, it was her, Jess and Nicola that were taking care of me. And basically, if I read it to you, well, the one I've used today is a patch for energy, but these are patches that merge adaptogens, aromatherapy principles. You put your patch on, it works for 10 to 12 hours, and she has all different types. So I used my energy patch today, which it says here is great for fatigue, fed up feelings and focus. I tried the other day one of the chill patches, and this would be great for anxiety, rest and calming down. Or you also have like recovery mode patch for hangovers, heavy meals and health kicks. And I just think it's a really nice idea that you have this patch, you put it on, it's working through the day. I feel like when it comes to wellness sometimes, and while I go into this, I'm just going to put on some of my IT Cosmetics CC cream. This is Fair Light, which is what I use when I don't have any tan on or I'm in the process of exfoliating the tan off, which I am at the moment. I feel like sometimes with supplements, you have every good intention, you go to Boots, you do your run, you have every supplement under the sun by the toaster, and then maybe like after a few weeks you've forgotten or you've been busy, or it can be really easy to fall on and off the wagon with them. Whereas I like the idea that being in a little pack in that way, you could put it in your handbag, and if you're like me and you get your whole life ready on the train, for example, if you leave the house in a rush and you've forgotten and you're like, oh, for God's sake, I meant to do that, you can just stick your patch on. I feel like it's a really, what is the word I'm looking for, easy way to slot it in, and you don't have to remember anything, and it's just kind of working away. Speaking of tan, one thing I will tell you, because Kelly advises that you put it somewhere that you can easily have a deep inhale and take in all of the aromatherapy properties. If you're like me and you do a tan, as with anything sticky, whether it is a plaster or anything, it will maybe lift your tan off a bit. So if you've got a lovely tan on, put it somewhere that you're not going to notice if it does lift your tan, and otherwise feel free to go straight for the pulse points. But I thought I'd show you that today. I've been really enjoying doing my longer chatty videos. It truly is like a bit of a switch off for me, a bit of mindfulness. I really love doing them, and I hadn't been doing them for the longest time. Many reasons, but predominantly I have been caring for a family member for the last few years, and like something I often hear from people, which is so lovely. I'm going to use some of my Nanobronze deep bronzing drops, by the way. I used to love these, and I went through my cupboards the other day and realised I hadn't used them in ages, so I've actually rejigged a load of stuff to have some of the stuff I really enjoy back in front of me. But yeah, I just kind of got back into doing my longer videos again and was really enjoying them. And then as it happens, as of last week, I have been caring for a family member again. Just to be really honest, like over the weekend, they didn't sleep, so I didn't really sleep all that well. I am so tired in myself. But like, this is my favourite little hobby, and I knew that this was something I wanted to do to switch off and unwind. But when you're going to speak for half an hour to people that you speak to a lot and you've formed lovely friendships with over the years, in a lot of cases, I can't be just making out like it's all sunflowers and cosy, but at the same time I want my little switch off of making my video. And so I just thought, it's one of those things, I don't really tend to go into too much about my life. First of all, I just feel like my life isn't relevant to you if you are sat here watching, wanting a bit of a makeup switch off, or in this case, wanting a bit of a, how the hell is she going to correct all of these drops that she's put way too much of on, but we will correct them. But at the same time, it's just quite disingenuous to not mention. And if I'm really honest, I haven't had a minute this week, and then touch wood, the person I'm caring for is resting really well today. And I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. We've turned a bit of a corner. I had a shower, washed my hair. I thought, oh, I just want to have a little play with my makeup. This will be my me time. What was I going to say? I can't even remember now, I've lost my trail of thought. But basically, I just thought, I'm actually just going to come out and say, oh, that's what I was going to say. In previous years, I've just kind of gone a bit silent and disappeared because there's too much going on. But then I miss my favourite hobby. So I figured that my middle ground is to say, listen, just like anyone, I've got my own things going on, and that is the way it is. But it doesn't mean I don't want to switch off this time if I have a lot of care responsibilities. I don't want to cope with that by never uploading a video or never checking in, because this is what keeps me going as well. It's my favourite little switch off. I'm just going to take some of those nano drops, bronzing drops off. I love those drops. I would imagine that because I haven't used them in ages, I've just completely forgotten what a normal portion size is. So I feel like don't let that be any blasphemy for how nice they are, even though I feel like I've just dragged those poor drops into absolute disrepute the way I've put them on. So let me just finish. I'm going to put a little bit of my Sunblush in Sun Blossom. This is from It Cosmetics as well. I was in Sheffield on Friday with It, and I had the loveliest day, We were on counter, so if anyone popped in, we could, you know, the usual story, colour match, try the CC cream on, answer any questions about skin, that kind of thing. I met some lovely, lovely people. I met a lovely girl called Helen who'd come in, and we had like had each other on Instagram for years but never met before, so she was lovely. And then I had Wendy and Julie and Helena, no, it was Helen that came in first and then Helena with them. Oh, we just had such a lovely day. But it's really lovely. If you go to Sheffield, by the way, Courtney on the It counter is so lovely. She's in Boots in Meadowhall. One thing I will say about It Cosmetics is it's a really lovely feeling to know that whoever comes in, skin type, skin tone, age, coverage preference, you've got something that will match that and do their makeup really nicely. And it was just really lovely to get my hands on people again, and because I haven't like been on counter for a little while. And speaking of, if you're watching this and there's a particular area you want us to come to, will you please just write it under here, and then I can say to it, look at all the people that want us to come to, I don't know, Glasgow, wherever it is, like just please let me know and we will absolutely keep it in mind. Now, I'm very excited to try these eyeshadow sticks. These are creamy sticks from L'Oreal. I feel like we're really having creamy sticks chats in the videos at the moment. I'm really happy to show you these because they are $9.99, which is more affordable in terms of some of the things I've shown you recently, and they're from L'Oreal Paris, so I feel like they're going to be really good quality. I think it was you, Jan, that a few months ago said, have you tried the L'Oreal sticks? I was thinking I haven't even seen them, but I have them now and we can work our way through them. I feel like the colours I've used recently are like the nudies, maybe the pinkies. Shall we go for like smoky browns? And actually something I'm going to show you today is Lisa Eldridge has done a new brown mascara and liner, so we'll go in the browns. Now in these sticks they have mattes and shimmers. Sorry, I've completely forgotten your hair. Genuinely. I am a bit sleep deprived, so this video will probably be a wild ride for all of us. Okay, would we say they are matte or shimmer? God forbid, we could just try them and find out. I feel like we've got one of each there. Let's just use this on its own and I'll tell you why. I think this is going to be, if you've watched my videos for a while, you'll be like, oh God, here she goes again. This is going to be one of those colours that suits every single eye colour and every skin tone. So let's have a little look. This is who knows, I will find the name for us and write it underneath. Magnetic bronze. So I'm going to just take this all over the eyelid and then I will blend them one at a time so that they don't dry on me, and we'll see where we're at. I'll wind that down a tiny bit more. So let's use this all over the lid. This looks like it's going to be a really lovely colour. There we go. I'm going to use, this is a Zoeva concealer buffer brush, and just buff the edge of this out and see where we end up. Okay, what I think I'm going to do with this is put some liner towards the lash line to make it a bit grungier and just keep all of this a bit fresher. What I will say I'm observing is I haven't got much playtime with this before it dries, so definitely do like I've done, one eye at a time, rather than if I'd put both eyes on, by the time I would have come to blend that one, I'd say it would have dried on me. Oh, I've gone too high there, hang on. I'm going to use my finger because I've gone too high, because do you know why? If I used the same brush there, I would have put too much product on it and then there'd be too much to give it a clean blend. So I'm just wiping my hands clean. Let me wipe this brush. Now that feels really nice. I wish in a way I'd put a bronzer through here so that we went from like a deeper brown into a softer brown, but I'll know that for next time. And see how I'm looking down into my mirror and how that's gone on a bit jagged. That is just because that cream is following the natural fine lines of my eyes. And if that happens to you, that's totally normal. It's just the way it goes on. You'll blend it out with your brush. That will happen with all kinds of creams. And actually that's the kind of thing you will observe if you've been watching my videos for a while. Like, I'm 35 now. I definitely have found that in the last few years, I can see a few changes in the way my eye makeup goes on. Just that like my, you know, face shape is changing a little bit as I get a little bit older. So sometimes it can be quite handy, I think, to just watch how someone resolves those things, that like it's not going to go on as smoothly as it did however many years ago that you might have started keeping it with me. But these are all the helpful things to know, aren't they? It's just come over really dark, so if the video's gone a bit blurry, it's because the sun's gone out. There's been hail and all sorts today, so who knows what we're in for, but we'll keep an eye. Now, already when you look forward on and relax your face a bit, that feels so lovely and blended. I'm going to go underneath the lash line also and just create this nice smoky look all around. And then I'm going to frame this a little bit more with Lisa's eyeliner. And I've got a Hildun brush here to just tickle some of that under and through the lash line. Lovely. What else do I need to tell you? I've just started watching, have you seen Made on Netflix? I've never seen it before and I love Margaret Qualley, so I thought I would give that a go. I finished Toxic Town. I feel like that might be the last thing I discussed with you, which was such a brilliant story. And I just thought it was so well cast and everyone was so great. I really, really enjoyed that. And like, what a lovely week, I have to say. So lots going on this week. It's been a challenging week, but sorry, you're wobbling because I'm cleaning that brush. New Haim single came out yesterday, which I've been waiting for so long. They've been on a little hiatus and I love Haim so much, so I've really, really missed them and love the new song. And then we have a new Chapel Roan song out today. So I feel like as far as good news goes, the good news is outweighing the difficult news this week. I also find, like, when you're sharing things about what's going on at home, while I go into this, I'm going to use Lisa Eldridge's liner in Burnt Umber. It's a really difficult one because genuinely I don't want to open up a conversation or ask for any sympathy or suggest that I'm in any worse off position than anyone else, because everyone has care responsibilities, well, lots of people do, but more that I suppose I feel like I just want to normalise that that is a very normal part of life for lots of people. And I think it's so funny, but with social media, if you don't share every single part of your life, people think that those things don't exist. It's so funny. My friend Laura, she will often say to me, if I like tell her about my day, she'll be like, God, if people knew half the stuff that you do in the day. But like, I suppose I just assume that, let's say if this video ends up being about half an hour, we're 20 minutes in now, you assume that everyone realises it's half an hour out of a day that has 23 and a half hours in it. But it's not necessarily the case. And I suppose as someone that makes a lot of content and really enjoys doing it and loves hopping on for the chat, I would just remind you that like people have really different opinions on how much they share and don't share, and you truly don't know the half of what is going on with someone, or like just because you don't see someone has a similar thing to you, it doesn't mean they don't have it. But I also think as well, I hope that you might get from me just explaining that, you know, there's a lot going on or whatever, that I really truly mean it when I tell you to take 5 minutes, do your wellness, do your skincare, whatever it is, because I'm trying to follow my own tips here. And I'm saying that like I'm a bit shattered today. I knew it was one of those where I'd feel better with washed hair. I'll feel better with a bit of makeup on, even though it is to be around the house and do nothing. I think when you are caring for someone, I went to this lovely Boots panel last week, and this is the other thing, like you look like you've had a lovely day out, and you have, but it doesn't mean the rest of the week other stuff hasn't happened. But anyway, went to this lovely Boots panel last week, and it was an event that they'd put together for International Women's Day. They had a really lovely panel of speakers, and Boots were basically saying, which I thought was so lovely and so true, they were like, we're with a woman for every step of her life. They said, like, you go to Boots for your baby stuff, you go for your first period, you go for your first date makeup, you're going to go for your supplements when you hit the menopause, you're going to go for all sorts of different health reasons over the years. How many times have you picked up a prescription from Boots? And they said it's really important to just kind of share, and that we all open up about where we're on our journeys and all of this. Lovely. Then on the panel, they had a number of different women at different life stages sharing different experiences. And one of them was Ashley, I want to say Ashley James. It's the blonde girl that's often on This Morning, and she's a real like women's rights activist. That's going to really annoy me if I've got her name wrong. Ashley James, you know the one. So she was saying that she uses this analogy that apparently when a flamingo has a baby, they lose all their pink, and basically the outpour that they're giving the baby means that they lose all that pigment for a minute, but when they gather their strength again and when it's all sorted, the pink comes back. And she said it's an analogy that she uses for lots of young mothers, or mothers in general. By the way, Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash Mascara in the new brand. Just 1 second, I heard a bang. I thought someone had fallen. They haven't, we're all good. You're on the edge of your nerves as well, aren't you? You know, when you, anyway. Ashley going on about the pink flamingo. So she said it's a really lovely analogy that she uses to explain to people, like, in this time that you're giving this energy output, of course it's going to impact you, but you'll get the pink back. I thought it was just such a lovely way of looking at it. And to be honest, I took from it, I have no children, I don't plan to have children, but I think that in any sort of caregiving capacity, you are susceptible to losing your pink. I really took it away and thought, God, it's such a lovely way of saying it. And if I'm really honest with you, I think that like I definitely lost my pink, if we are to use this analogy, for the last couple of years. And weirdly, I'd just started to feel like, no, I'm coming back to myself again, and I feel a bit like myself again. I was even things like from this perspective of like having a big long chat and things, I really enjoy that. It was something I hadn't done for a long while, and I was really glad to be able to do it again. And so I just thought, when, you know, I was presented with a circumstance again last week where I would ordinarily shut off, not do the things that bring me joy, just really focus on that, I thought, no, I really must try. It's not always possible, time isn't always permitting, but I really must try to hold on to the things that I really enjoy this time, and we'll see how we go. But I do think that caring is something that isn't spoken about enough. And I also think it's something really misunderstood. I can't tell you the amount of times that someone has said to me, isn't there someone that can just do that? Or isn't there someone that can help with that? Isn't there a really easy solution? And there isn't easy solutions to these things. And it's quite complicated in a lot of people's lives. Like, there's no magic cure when someone you care about needs care. And actually there's also the added factor that I enjoy doing it, I want to do it. But I just figured, you know what, instead of just, like, yes, I know you are here for a makeup chat, but this is an important topic to me too. Maybe you'll like it. I'm sure there'll be people that don't like it and don't wish to hear that kind of thing, and that's okay. But I just think the more you just talk about things that you're passionate about, you'll find people that are equally passionate about those things. I found it really lovely this week. You know how I was saying there was the new Haim single? Lots of people have like sent me things or texted on things or tagged me if they've been in something. And I thought, isn't it so lovely and such a privilege that someone would know, like, oh, she loves that band, I'll make sure she's seen that. It's really lovely. But that's the kind of thing you only get when you do share a bit and talk about yourself. So yeah, maybe this is my new sharing all about myself, even though I'm not really saying anything era, who knows. But no, if you are a carer for someone, I really do hear you. And you know, another thing, if I'm really honest, this is going to sound terrible now, but apparently I'm in the mood to open up today. The other reason why I don't really like sharing if anything is going on is your phone goes off and off and off, and that's so lovely. Someone checking in, asking how you are, can I do anything, do you know, we'll have to meet up is always one of the first things people say, and that's so lovely and so generous to think that, and what a privilege it is that someone would say that. But then you're thinking, I've now, on top of everything else I've got to do this week, got a load of messages that have come in that someone's going to think you're rude if you don't go back to, or even actually, speaking of like Instagram, I don't go back to my DMs anymore, and I used to religiously for years, but it's just that there isn't hours in the day. And sometimes I think to myself, I think if I opened up a little bit more and just said, it's not personal, I'm not ignoring you, and I'm so grateful if you've sent me a message, I really am, and I read an awful lot of them, but I have a different set of circumstances, and I know I probably only post that I've been to a concert, had my nails done, putting a bit of makeup on. It can look like there's nothing going on in my life. There really is. And I'm not being rude, but just, you've got to prioritise, you know, the things that are urgent to you in your day. And so that's often why I haven't gone back to a message. I hate for you to think that I've purposefully ignored something. But there's just been a whole backlog of other stuff, maybe that day or that week, that has had to take priority like it would with anyone else, which is why I always say as well, if you leave a comment with whatever it is, I can make a video so that in that half hour that I've got, I'll make a video answering it, and hopefully more than one person will benefit from that response. But that's a better use of my time than sitting and writing the same answer to 10 different people when I can just do one video that answers it for everyone to see, if that makes sense. Right, we're going in with a Kiko. No, we're not. Do you know what we're going to do? Sorry, I'm very sorry to the Kiko. We will do that one another day. Do you know what I really want to try? And I put it in front of me ready. I've got these Wonderskin, you know, the tints that are like blue and then you peel it off. So I want to try, this is Glamorous. Who knows how bright this is going to be. This is the sticker colour. So who knows what it's going to come out like on me. I used the other day, I thought it was really good. I used this colour, lovely. I'm a bit frightened now. What if I balls up this makeup? Because I really like the browns. I'm going to be honest, I don't know. Come on, what's the harm? I'm not going anywhere. Let's do the bright one. So I'm going to use Glamorous Lip Mask. What I have to do is put it on, leave it for up to 60 seconds and then remove it. Because I always draw my upper lip on bigger, I'm going to draw my upper lip on bigger with this in the hope that it makes everything look a bit more plump. So good luck to us all. And then I'm getting this ready. That, by the way, is the gentlest thing. If you want to take your makeup off with something that feels like water, the La Roche-Posay Micellar water is so, so gentle. Even on your eyes, everything, it's really great. Right, let's give it a go. I always see people do this smile first. Let's do the smile. Ah! Oh no, what if I've stained my teeth? Oh my God. I mean, fair. Do you know what? Fair play to them. That really has worked. I think I would wear that colour again with different eyes, but like, love that. And it's gone over my natural lip, which is what I wanted it to do. Brilliant. But now I think we're going to come back to our Kiko that we had very rudely cast aside a few minutes ago. And let's like follow what we've just done. Can you see? Yeah. I love that. I'm going to put a lip balm over this to make it a bit more pink than red. And that lip balm is going to be one of the new Half Magic balms. These are so beautiful. They're all shaped like a prism. This is the shade Icon Aura, which I haven't used yet. I've had in my bag all week. In fact, no, I'm going to use the brown one, the Cinnawitch. I've had in my bag all week. There's like a pinky glittery one. These are basically designed to be lip balmy butters that are infused with glitter the whole way through. You know how so often with those kinds of balms, they do glitter on the top and there's nothing through the bullet. This is all the way through glitter, and maybe the brown will be nice with these eyes. So let's give this one a go. And the sun has come out in time for us to see all the glitter in this. How lovely is that? I feel like the red underneath is throwing the colour of that off a bit, so I will look forward to trying that again without the red. But I often find that browns wash me out a little bit, but actually I really like that one. Now, as one last little step, which funnily enough leads on nicely from the Half Magic lippy, have you seen that Donny Davey, the founder of Half Magic, is back doing Euphoria? I'm glued, like what's in the trailer, what are they using? I cannot wait for the new season of Euphoria, and I just think that they do the most beautiful makeup on that show. So one of the things that I put to one side to be using again is Nano Blur. So Kirby Johnson did a trailer tour of everything they'd used on season 2, and Nano Blur, let me show you, is this like, it's like a gel type texture. It's this little thing that you can put on your skin to blur over the appearance of any texture. And instead of using powder or foundation or anything, Donny had said that she used to use this. This is a fresh tube, so let me just get some down here. She used to use this to blur over any texture or anything. It's Whenever you use anything blurring on a video, someone will say, you filtered that, it's not real. So I would just urge you, for anything like that, try it in store, because then you'll get a more accurate read of what it will actually look like. Like, especially by the time you've uploaded a video. TikTok, for example, drastically reduces video quality. YouTube and Instagram, you tend to get a good idea. But like, if you were to just press this along here, I'm not going to do too much of it because it will lift what I've already got on. It's a really good thing to have. However, what Indeed Labs have also done is created it in a spray form. So this is Nanoset Blurring Setting Spray. I am actually just going to use some of this. Let's start that one all over. Give it a minute to set, and hopefully it will have the same blurring quality, but I haven't had to press anything and disrupt the makeup underneath. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. I really love all of that eye stuff, actually. I feel like I was so distracted saying all of my bits that maybe I didn't focus on them, but what a lovely little combination. I also think using brown instead of black is just that bit softer. You don't lose any of the definition, but it really helps to bring your eye colour out. And I feel like maybe I'll do a separate video on those Lisa things because they're so fab and I just talked all over them. But truthfully, if you have kept it with my page for a long time, I'm really grateful. I know that I am prone to like dipping in and out a lot, and I really thought if I just kind of explained that I'm juggling a few things, it makes me feel a bit more easy to just say, I'm going to do my makeup for half an hour and I might not be full of the joys of spring, but we can still have a nice switch off. I need it for me. It's my favourite switch off. And also, like, I just think I find it really enjoyable when I watch people share a bit of what's going on in their life. So I don't think I've maybe done that as much in the past, and maybe this is my chance to do it. I don't know. But anyway, have a lovely rest of your day and I'll chat to you soon. Can I please ask you one thing at the end of this video? And I'd be so grateful for your help. I've nominated myself in these CeraVe Cera Awards, and basically they are looking to honour 60 finalists, 10 in 6 different categories. I've put myself forward and I've been making videos about rosacea for years, and more than anything I would just love the accolade of being recognised as a finalist. The actual winners get to go to a trip in New York with CeraVe, which obviously I would absolutely love as well. I'm not going to lie, that would be amazing. But honestly, even to just be honoured as a finalist, it would really mean a lot to me. If you've ever had a helpful tip from me about your skin, I would really be grateful if you'd go onto this website and vote for me and let me show you where to do it. So you go onto the CeraVe website and this will come up. Then you click learn more. Then we get to this time to vote page. There's all different categories underneath. This very first one, the Skintellectual, is the one that I've nominated myself in. Then 1 out of 59, we have to keep tapping that until we get to 41. I know that's a lot of taps. I know it's a complete ball ache. If you could just help me with that, I would honestly be so grateful. I would just take it as such a lovely gesture. If I have ever taught you anything over the years, it's free to do. It would make a really big difference and I would be so grateful for your help.